in to the one-on-one show with Dr. Lucita.
Welcome to the one-on-one show.
You're tuned in to the one-on-one show with Dr. Lucita.
Welcome to iSpace 2 LLC, the ultimate creative sanctuary designed for the innovative mind. Elevate your podcast with our professional-grade equipment and acoustically treated rooms. Crystal clear sound quality, every time. Bring your vision to life in our photoshoot studio with natural light, versatile backdrops, and pro lighting gear. Stunning images are guaranteed. Need space to collaborate? Our sleek modern offices are perfect for meetings, workshops, or conferences. Flexible rentals to fit your needs. Choose from our diverse studios: Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and Studio D, each designed to inspire and adapt to your creative workflow. Conveniently located at 2198 Austell Road Southwest, Suite 216 in Marietta, Georgia. Ready to create? Book your space today at ispace2.com. or call 866-936-5365. iSpace 2, LLC, where your ideas come to life. Create, collaborate, inspire.
We are a Christian-based non-profit organization providing pre-filled communion elements to simplify church logistics for Holy Communion.
At Holy Communion Elements, we deal with packaging of pre-packed Holy Communion into a one self-serving cup.
Over time, I've seen people evolving from this old style of having Holy Communion to this new style, where everything is packed and prepared for your table. You find that this is way cheaper comparing with this because there is not much of, getting all the accessories. This is as it is. Serve on the go.
It takes us like 20 minutes. Everybody is done. Unlike in the past where, elders have to come early, do the preparation, and then later they'll do the washing of those cups. Sometimes we are forced to go and do additional preparation in the middle of the service. And you have to dash back to the vestry to do more preparation.
We have 5 stations: 1, client services; 2, production; quality control; packaging; and delivery.
At Holy Communion Elements, we are dedicated to providing pre-packed Holy Communion kits in a safe, sustainable, and accessible way, even in areas where traditional elements are hard to access. Your donation will directly fund the production and distribution of these pre-packed elements, ensuring that every Christian can partake in Holy Communion with dignity and reverence. Together, we can ensure that Holy Communion experience remains accessible and meaningful for us all. To donate, please visit holycommunionelements.com or reach out to us directly through our phone number.
You're tuned in to the one-on-one show with Dr. Lucita.
Thank you for waiting on us. Wow, what an evening. There was a big accident, but our guest made it. She's safe. She's here with us because on One, we air every Saturday from 5 to 6. So today we may be a little bit longer because we are here with the one and only. We don't announce our guests because there's a reason we don't do that. Because guess what, everyone? There's always a story. So I can't wait to see what her story is behind her name because I'm not going to say much about her because she is the town princess, right? The town voice. Whatever you're doing, she's always there. She's always available. She is Atlanta Shushu. Without further ado, we're going to introduce her in a few minutes. Sit tight, share the show because there's a lot of conversation. But before we take a break, we want to thank all of our advertisers that's been supporting us. We want to say thank you to Saving Plumbing. You've been with us since day one. We want to say thank you to Amory Trust. She's been with us from day one. Please support our advertisers. And myself, LAF, I'm sponsoring this all the way. So we want you guys to sit back, relax. We have a fun episode with the one and only. You get to see her in a few minutes.
All right, producer.
You're tuned in to the one-on-one show with Dr. Lucita.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to One on One Story Time with Dr. Lucida and her special guest. You know the reason why we create One on One. We create One on One to leave a legacy to our younger generation. We want when we're no longer here, they have something that they can look back. Because guess what? Lucida was never Lucida, and my guest was not just my guest. There's always a story. There's a beginning. Now, welcome, guest. How you doing?
I'm on one finally.
It's your turn. It's your turn. I can't
Oh
wait.
my goodness, what a blessing and honor to be here on one with you, Dr. Lucida. So thank you for having me, and I'm excited about this next, hour maybe.
Hey, if you guys want to participate, leave some comments. Give us some questions. Maybe we'll be here till tomorrow. What do you think?
With us, when we start talking, it's going to be, before you know it, it's 2 hours gone by. But we're not going to do that to the listeners
No, we're
today,
not.
right?
We're not.
We're not. Maybe.
not.
I don't know. We're going to be good.
We're going to be good?
Yes.
You think so? Hey, let's see, guys. Start sharing the live. Tell everybody
Please.
that my guest that I'm not going to announce, I'm not going to say her name
I
because
was
we know
looking for the
there's a
guest. I was
story.
like, who's this lady? I want to meet her. Atlanta Shushu. Oh, yeah.
Well, tell them, who are you?
Okay.
What is your name?
Marie Cassandre Roche. Ooh. Most of you know me as Marie Cassandre Merisier, but I got married recently, and so the last name has changed. Proud of it, and so that's the name. Do I go into who is Marie Cassandre?
Well, before we go about who is Marie Cassandre, is there a story where you name after somebody? Because we know in our culture there's always something. There's a meaning part of the name. Can you remember anything? Did they share any stories with you?
Well, the interesting thing about my name is that everybody in my immediate family, my sister, my mother, we're all Marie something. And as you know, in Haiti, we're not called by the first name, what they call here first name. So my mother's name is Marie de Lourdes. My sister's name is Marie Eve, and I am Marie Cassandre. And so in Haiti, somebody that doesn't know you, you're being introduced formally. They always call me Marie Cassandre. But for a nickname, it was always Sunday. Sunday.
So who we meeting today? Are we meeting Cindy? Sunday. Are we meeting Sunday?
You know.
I might get a little something.
I think Sunday is a little girl, you know, the one that the parent tells what to do, and the big sister bosses around.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, Miss. Hey, Cindy, don't take over. You're on one-on-one. We got you. We got you. So tell us, where is Marie Cassandre from? Where did you grow up? A little bit about the little Marie Cassandre, the little girl that you.
Of course. So I was born in Haiti. My family migrated here when I want to say 7 years old. And so we migrated straight from Haiti to Georgia. We were supposed to just be in Georgia very short amount of time and then go to New York because that's where my mother's sisters, everybody's family was in New York. So that didn't happen.
So wait. So so from 1 to 6, you grew up in Haiti.
I grew up.
Do you remember anything?
I do.
Oh, tell
my
us,
gosh.
because I want to know about the 1 to 6-year-old Cassandre.
I do. Of course, I got to do a little bit of schooling there, and so I remember the sisters. L'école Caïmé.
Okay.
You know, I remember them. I remember the beach. You know, one beach that always sticks to my mind because my father used to take us all the time is Ibo Beach.
Ibo Beach.
Yes, and so I also learned how to swim there. He would just throw me in the water and say, "Figure it out."
At 6 years old.
At 6 years
Wow.
old, or younger, because you know.
Interesting.
And so I remember just the beautiful, you know, the carefree life, the water. Really, I'm a water baby, so
Okay.
I love the water. So I remember all the different beaches and the food, of course. And so yeah.
How often you go back?
Well, the last time I went to Haiti was 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. So I went with Rose brought me back. Rose Bourne Vixama.
Okay.
She brought me back to Haiti after maybe over 30 years of not going.
We are gonna get to that. Okay.
So I went to Okap.
Okay, so you were there not too long ago.
Yeah.
So now we left Haiti. Being 6 years old, do you remember the day you were leaving Haiti?
I don't.
You don't?
No, it was all of us. I have one older sister and 2 younger brothers and my mother. So it was just another trip.
Family.
Another family trip, and we all just went there and we just never went back, you know.
So earlier you were saying you came straight to Atlanta. So tell me about that lifestyle there. So I'm assuming you did kindergarten,
yes,
middle school. So what are these schools?
schooling.
Tell me, because I thought my last guess was Atlantan. So you just beat my last guess. So tell us. No wonder you the Atlanta shoo. So all right. See, one-on-one, I'm learning so much, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit about that. What year was that?
Oh my goodness. What year was that? You are.
I'm going there.
Look, you're going there. Let's do the math.
Let's do the math. I'm going there.
Over 35 years ago. So it had to be. It was before the Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's 1993, 90.
Yeah, 93, 94. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because the Olympics was 96, right?
So Atlanta was like what?
There was nobody here.
But you were young, so you probably didn't know.
I didn't know.
So you probably was not in that lifestyle.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't raised with a lot of Haitians.
Exactly.
around
So I
that
don't think
time.
so. Cause
yeah. So Atlanta was just, you know,
another place that took you in, and here you are. So how was kindergarten?
Kindergarten was fun, was nice. I excelled. I was I was in front of everybody because, the schooling, and they were teaching us to do way more things than what they're teaching them how to do. So, and of course, behavior. There's this thing where Haitians come to this land, and then they're like, oh, they're so well mannered and so well behaved and all that. It's in us. It's instilled in us. It's beat in us. It's every day in us. So we know how to act when we're around elderlies and all of that. So my mother always got good reports from me. Oh, the good girl, and she did her work, and of course. You have to excuse me because the pollen outside is crazy.
But thank you for coming.
Yeah,
I know some people would have canceled, but I'm pleased that you were
I
here.
apologize.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
fine.
And so my mother would still dress me as like we're going to Haiti.
Yeah.
So when kids are just wearing tennis shoes and shorts and stuff, I'm going with socks.
You got the bobos.
The socks freely, the dress, everything. So that was kind of hard because even through middle school, she's still telling me I have to wear socks with my shoes and all that stuff. So, you did get teased a little bit.
different. So what was the name they used to call you? Because I remember me being in, because I did all my schooling here as well. They used to call me Frenchie. So when I was in middle school throughout my life, it was French girl.
French girl?
Yeah, Frenchie. So did down south people had a name for you?
What did
They probably
call
were
me?
more nicer than up north.
Well, used to basically just make fun, like,
Tell
say
me
this
some
word,
stories.
say this word. For example, beach. When I say beach, they would say, "Oh, say that word again," and it sounded like a bad word, and then they would make me say it over and over again. It was so fun for them. So
It's our grammar, right? Our pronunciations was always get them.
Yup.
Wow. So what about the teachers? What did you thought of the teachers, the school?
Yeah, the thing is, I became the teacher's favorite because we know what to do, and yes, ma'am, and the proper. So I became
the class
love
helper.
that.
We call it the class help.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so I was seen as kind of a nerd, which I wasn't really, but I was seen as that because I wasn't into all the other things the kids were doing.
Like what? Give me an idea. Give me
I love reading. So as soon as I came here, I got into, believe it or not, romance novels at a very young age. I was reading some naughty books.
Only on one-on-one. Only on one-on-one. Guys, you guys just got it? Marie Cassandre, Atlanta favorite. The MC of town. She's been reading.
Yes. And back then it used to be Harlequin.
Harlequin. I remember them. The little, and there's no pictures on them.
Yeah.
Not that I used to read them. But I think that's how we stayed busy. I think back in the days, which kid would say they didn't read those books?
I'm telling you, it had like a muscular man with like blonde hair flowing and
and I think that's where this book just came about. You know, the you know how oh my gosh, it's gonna come to me. Oh Lord, the one that everybody's talking about now.
Oh, there is one. Look, there is one. Let me make notes. If you know the book, please.
I'll get back to it because everybody's talking about sex. It's not it's a book. Orange or gray. If you into novel, you've heard about it.
Okay.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll get to it. I'll research it and get back to you. But all of us had those type of books that we would read, long chapters.
Yes.
And that's how we go to sleep at night.
Yes.
Because we all thought we were gonna find our Prince Charming.
Oh yes. I always imagine myself as the lady.
They're gonna come save us.
Je ferme.
Somebody gonna come save us. They're always well mannered, things. So now let's get back to non-nutty Cassandre.
But it wasn't all naughty because of my reading, I became well spoken. I
Yes.
became able to know grammar and do a lot of things and speak and understand English very fast. So
And to say too, those books were not naughty. It was the way they were written. It was stories,
yes,
and you had to pay attention to those stories because you couldn't wait to see what's the next chapter
Right.
was gonna and reveal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it, and then it wasn't descriptive as today.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
it was
yeah,
written,
yeah.
it was
Today's
more,
is a
yeah,
little raunchy.
it's a, yeah. So middle school, what can you remember? Did you have any friends in middle school? Or?
Well, not really. Just again, doing as the adults, did. I don't think I became I started making friends until I was in high school.
Really?
And some of these friends I still have till today.
So how was your middle school? Because I think people, so it was hard to make friends in middle school, or it was just you were so focused getting to know the country?
I was so focused, and I think those were my learning years, trying to just observe how Americans do things, learning a language. Math it was a difficult subject for me because the way they did math, even our division, the way I learned how to do division as a young child, 4 or 5, and I'm learning division a different way in middle school, and it's like it's on the other side of it was so confusing to me. So I had a hard time with math, and so just trying to learn how they did things here and be ready for high school. I was excited for high school.
How was home? How was life at home?
Life at home was good. Life at home, my mother at the time was married to our stepfather, and it was all 4 of us. So I have 2 brothers, 1 older sister, and so it was,
So no fighting with your
nothing-
brothers and sisters?
Oh man, I have a
I need
younger.
the stories. You on one-on-one. I have to know. Did they used to beat you up? What went on in that house?
I have a younger brother. His name is Jerry, right? Jerry Son, and Jerry it has the same birthday as I do. He's July 8, 82. I'm July 8, 81. So I'm 1 year older than him.
Wow.
He hated that. And then so we used to always fight over the remote control. And so one time I'm watching something and he snatches it and all of that. And then while I'm saying, no, give it to me. So he didn't give it to me. I went to unplug the TV. And while I'm unplugging the TV, I'm getting up. This guy just rushes me like a football player, and
Oh, my God.
and then just push me on the thing. Oh my gosh, that's one of the bad fights. Another guy, I'm telling you, I'm good. I was good. I was good at basketball, y'all. Your girl was like, yeah.
Only on one-on-one, guys. Do people know that about you, or this is we're finding about that new Mike I said to
knows
them.
that.
Okay, so we're gonna start off basketball, and we
I
have
was,
the coaches.
not with these knees now. Mm-mm. But yeah, and so he hated that. So I used to just do shots, 3-pointers.
Nice.
And then he hated it. So one point he took me and he kicked me in my stomach. I was like,
Was
that's
that the
it for
only
me.
one that used to fight with you?
Yeah, that's the only one.
That's-
The other one was like 7 years younger than I
Okay,
am.
okay. So
yeah.
it was. So how was your parents with that? Did your parents used to get involved?
They spank him, and then I cry because I don't want him
And then
to
you
get
go right
spanked.
underneath him.
Yeah, and then I'm like, and then
And where is he now?
He's in Dominican Republic.
Awesome.
He's lived there.
So
yeah,
if you
for a
had
long
something to
time.
say to him, what would you say to him? You're gonna look at you. I
Oh
think that's
my
a moment. That's a brother
gosh,
moment.
That is a brother sister moment.
If
'Cause
he's
we both
watching
went
right
like this.
now,
Yeah. Well, Jerry, I would say that I love you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for making life so adventurous. Thank you for making us laugh. I understand that things got a little hard for you, but you're making it. You made something out of what you were handed. So I'm proud of you. Keep on doing some good things, and your children, all your children, because he says Jerry told us that his job on earth was to populate it. That's what God told him. So he's got about over 10 kids. I lost count. I have a lot of nieces and
Hey, so that if that's what he believes, I'm with him on that.
So you did what you were supposed to do, okay?
Keep populating, sir.
And you are loved. I just want you to know that you are loved.
Thank you for sharing that moment with us. And we're going to continue. And so we left your house.
Yeah.
Before we leave home, what would you tell the younger version of Marie Cassandre today?
The
younger, before we go to high school.
Before we go to high school, the younger version?
Yes. What is it that you used to want to do? Like, you couldn't wait to be a certain age. And what would you tell yourself? I have somebody observing us. They're like,
I would tell her she had fun. I know that my younger version was carefree. Like, bills, what? Food is like it appears in front of you and you're eating and you're having fun and, you don't have a care in the world. So I was blessed to have, all of us, to have a childhood where, thank God there was no abuse. There was no, the parents were loving and things of that nature. So around that age, really, just enjoying, just enjoying learning and, trying to find your footing. So, yeah.
So you would tell yourself to take time, get to know the world.
Relax. Keep doing what you're doing.
So you were in the right pace in life at that time. Because, the kids today are growing fast, right? Because I'm looking at some 12-year-olds, some 13-year-olds. It's amazing. I'm not sure if it's the internet. I'm not sure what it is, but it's they know more. They know way more than we are.
Yeah.
So now we move into high school. So now you are a teenager. How was fashion? How was life? How was boyfriend? Tell me about that, Cassandre. I'm ready for that, Cassandre.
Well, I was a teenager, but it was strict. You
Really?
all know that we can't sleep over friends' house, and that these are the times where, can you, sleep over at my house? Can, my mom said it's okay, and then my mom is looking like, no, you have your own house, your own bed. So there's no such thing as sleeping over, okay?
Yeah, the Haitian household, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
They didn't believe in this thing.
Yeah, not at all.
But I can understand why, too.
Yeah. Knowing what we know
today,
now as adults, you can understand why the parents are so like, no.
Yes.
So, of course, I didn't get to participate in a lot of the fun things the teenagers were doing, but I had church and they had activities, and so it was fun. And then it was okay to go outside for a certain time and then, meet with all the schoolmates and or just hang out in the front steps and buy blag,
So you say you had church. So growing here in Georgia, so you guys were religious.
Oh yeah, I'm the daughter of a preacher, so
Again, one-on-one moments. Only on one-on-one.
Oh yeah.
Does Atlanta? Do people know this? Seriously, Marie Cassandre. Okay, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
So wow.
Pastor Merisier. Yes.
Pastor Merisier. Where is he?
Yes. And so that's my mother.
Your mother was a pastor.
Yeah,
she's a pastor. Where is Mommy
Mommy's
Merisier?
with me, and she sometimes do guests. Preaches at different. She doesn't have her own church.
Nice.
And in Haiti, she has a building with orphanage, and she goes and does that. But here, she doesn't have her own, so she just does guest pastor, guest speaker, and all of that at different places.
Interesting.
Yep. So very strict in that aspect that I couldn't wear makeup until I was in college. So there was no makeup stuff. I was allowed to go to prom. So prom was nice. I was allowed, but she had to pick the date, and which was the son of one of the sisters.
Okay, somebody she know.
Yeah, so
You have
she
to be
knew him.
planned.
But what happened is that at the last minute he backed out, so I didn't have a date. But it turns out that my neighbor's son, which she kind of saw around, so he was like, okay, well, I'm going to the prom. We can go together. So a group of us just all went and got a limo, and we went to the prom together.
That's usually fun. So give me some stories about the prom day. What can you remember?
Prom was nice. Prom was, I love to dance, and, a lot of the kids didn't know that I could dance, so that was my night to shine. But you're talking senior now, so.
Yeah, so let's get back. Because I want 9th grade, 10th.
We don't have
If we had a
time for all
boyfriend,
that. Listen.
I want all of them. I want what's going. You have about 710 people watching you, so you better tell them something, right? I'm like, wow, how you got all these people here listening to you, so you're not giving them some stories?
I'm telling
Tell
you,
us
no
something.
boyfriends. First of all, no boyfriends.
You didn't have any boyfriend?
No boyfriends, but
the whole
no
the whole
boyfriend.
high school?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
'cause,
couldn't.
like-
But we did. There were some, boys that I liked and liked me, and then so we snuck a kiss behind the house.
Mommy, do you hear
Mommy.
Oh, better do not cry.
Look, I'm 43 now. She can't spank me no more. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you.
We're not scared. Wow.
Oh yeah. So and then another time, Jerry, my brother, my mom went to work, and then I had a boy come to the house, and of course the other siblings were there, but Jerry told on me. And so I got a spanking of my life for that. Yeah. He was like, Mommy, she had a boy here, and they were out in the back of the house.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then
Jerry's a snitch.
telling you.
Jerry, why would you tell?
Jerry told
Well,
on
they
me.
do that,
So
right?
when-
Older brothers
yeah.
always. And then they're usually jealous of their sisters.
I'm telling you.
So.
And so when she got home, she found out that there was a boy here, and there were no adults in the house, only us.
That's a crime, huh?
And
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I was going to hell, and you already know.
The whole Bible.
I was going to
Did he
hell.
put your mettre Bible sous tête
Oh
tout
my
pour
gosh.
essayer to get rid of the devil?
And then when I finally confessed that I kissed him, then
Oh, my God.
the way she was talking about it, I I
You
would
would
get
have
a
thought.
disease that I would die from right? Madame ne fait peur.
But you know, the thing is, that's the problem with that generation. They did not prepare us for the world.
Oh my God, no.
There's a lot of things we didn't know.
Because they use the fear tactic. Instead of talking to us and letting us know, okay, this can happen, but there is a good, but they just use the fear tactics. They beat fear.
They'll have the
into
dream.
us.
They'll see everything in their sleep.
Yes.
It's all of them had the same tactic.
Telling you, and sometimes I don't even think they really dream. You think they dream like that much? Like, how many times can you dream? I can't even remember.
Or the pastor's son, something happened to somebody in the school, it could happen to you too. There's always a story. Somebody called them, tell them something. Hey, like they always using somebody else's thing to put you, to scare you.
You know what? I think I'm going to start using that with my daughter. I have 2 teenagers. I think I'm going to try the dreaming thing.
Yeah, the dreaming thing, it worked. They always had a dream. My mom, Chamoun, because they call me Chamoun. Fais attention. Vous connaissez, elle n'a pas de bon, and I'm like, Mom, why are you always dreaming? But
I'm telling you. So, but it made it interesting. It made it interesting for me as a child, as a teenager, to find ways to have fun around those set rules, And
so I was growing up in church. How was it?
It was good. I like church because church is how come I'm able to to connect with my Haitian people. You know, now church is the reason why I can speak a little French.
Nice.
Church is the reason why I can speak. I got $5 worth of Creole.
Nice.
And you know, so church really kept me rooted. And that's what I want for the kids too. I don't want them to be so far Americanized,
Of the culture.
yeah, that they don't remember the essence of what it is that you know it is.
I think
to
we
be
do a
Haitian.
good job with that because I don't know. In my household, I listen to compa a lot. I listen to a lot of Haitian gospel and things like that with my kids. I put the TV on, you know, Haitian activities, just to show them that there is a different side than just being American, right? So with that, make sure that they have the Haitian food so
Yes.
they know. Like the other day, I was talking to my daughter. I said, "How do you identify yourself?" She said, "Haitian, mommy, Haitian." So I'm like, "Great," because that means if you keep telling them that you are Haitian, you are somebody, then they start identifying themselves
Yes.
as that. So I find that it's our job to educate our kids the importance of the Haitian culture so that we don't lose it.
Oh yeah.
So now you in the church, you being Haitians, you're doing everything. Was the church solely Haitian people in there?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And doing
What is the advantage? What would you tell the younger kids now that doesn't want to go to church? What advice would you have for them?
Oh, please do. Please go to church. Like I said, that's what keeps you rooted. That's what connects you. That's what there's something that says Creole parler, Creole comprendre. Like you can feel it inside of you, even though you don't understand every word. But there is a feeling that you know it resonates with you, and there is something that it's like only in us, so only when we're all gathered that you'll get that feeling. So it's good. I would encourage parents to even if they go to an American church, but still find some, you know, the Haitian, maybe an activity with them based in the church so that they can learn some scriptures. That's how I know some scriptures in French, because they tell you to memorize it. And so I can remember, till this day, I remember Notre Père qui est aux cieux.
Que ta volonté soit faite sur la terre comme au ciel. That stayed in our head, lady. That's not, we had to recite this every.
Acte de
Did you do your first communion?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's why I can remember these things. I'm like, why I don't say these things, you know?
So you Catholic?
And I was raised
You
Catholic.
was raised Catholic.
Yes, but
Okay.
I'm non-denominational
Okay,
now.
so
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So you did the communion thing.
I did.
So you remember communion?
I
day?
remember communion. I had the white dress, the couronne, the veil.
The wedding. You're preparing us for the wedding.
And then I remember at one point I didn't see any kids. I just saw a bunch of adults having fun. And then I ate and I went to sleep. And
We always wonder, why do they do communion? Like, why would they make a big deal? They make a big deal out of it. It's a party.
It's not for the kids. It's for the good one.
But you know what, though? I think it was good for them. I think it was good for them because that's how everybody get together. They can showcase their little girl, their little boy. So I think it's a tradition. I think we still keep going. I don't see much about it because it's almost communion time.
It is.
And I'm
That's
not
the
even
season
invited in
for it.
one.
I
usually
in
get
Georgia,
5-10.
Yeah, in Georgia, I don't see a lot unless you are in the Catholic church in that community. Then, but I know in New York, they're getting
Every
ready.
weekend.
Yeah, it's like that's it. That's a party. That's a battle. You don't.
Yeah,
even
that's
go
something.
to,
Yeah. Sometimes they even get a band to perform, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see that much of that. Now, more about Marie Cassandre. So, any friends that you made in high school? Any trouble you got in high school? You couldn't be that perfect.
Oh my
Come
gosh!
on.
I'm telling you. Okay, so now
I wasn't
you're
perfect.
You're gonna make me remember. You're gonna make me know what I'm gonna tell my younger self in high school. I would say, have more fun, take more risk, and don't be scared to get in trouble.
No way.
Yeah.
So you were really that nerd?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm telling you, the teachers would call my
Even me,
mom.
I wasn't a nerd.
will call my mom and say, "Oh, she's so nice, she's so good, she's so good," and my mom loved that.
Of
Haitian
course.
parents.
It being a pastor. Hey.
Oh my God.
So it's like that's the pride and joy.
Yeah.
I see why you're a Georgia,
Georgia teacher.
Yeah, Georgia girl. Like everybody is Marie Cassandre. Everywhere you go is Marie Cassandre.
Oh,
Every
my God.
event is Marie Cassandre,
wow.
So it's like that's your life. You've been that
yeah,
type of girl.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not because it's based on fear. Because
So then fear works then.
The authoritarian.
Then it works.
That's why sometimes I say, thank God my mom was as,
Yes, that's true, because my dad was strict as well.
as strict and tough on us because ou pa kon ki malheur yo avè ti nou, maybe if I had gone with because a lot of, the kids in high school.
Back in the days, yeah.
Back in the days, and
they get
there
into
was
everything.
Drugs, there was,
stealing the cars.
Yes.
Because I grew up with a lot of brothers and sisters.
Yeah, there were the rims,
so there were
selling
the rims.
rims,
There were the Jamaican. That's when the Jamaican was more popping. So
Yeah.
everybody wanted to be somebody else instead of being Haitian. They wanted another, because at that time Haitians was not a thing that people accepted, right? So they wanted to be someone else. So it was a lot of things happening right under our nose, and I think they knew that, so they protected us from that.
Protected us, yeah. And so because of that fear, and of course you have to remember our time, no cell phone, no computer. I didn't have these things
But
yet,
that's how
not
we would have
until
gotten more
college.
trouble,
And
though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So really, I have my novels, my books, and then my imagination.
So what was your favorite actress? Because if you were into this type of lifestyle,
I had
your
a favorite
author.
Yeah, Nora Roberts,
Nora
American.
Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all it's romance based of Ireland and Scotland and anywhere.
That
in
life,
the
that imagination.
Yeah.
Australia
And so,
guy.
Yeah.
Because in those books, they usually look the sexiest, right?
Yeah.
Because they always talk about
the cover
Australian
is
guys.
always like, oh, where can I get? When am I gonna get my?
I can't believe I used to read this. I can't believe you brought this up, because I think growing up here, every young woman read these books.
Yeah.
It was the thing to do.
Yep. It even started to affect my schoolwork, because when I'm supposed to be doing schoolwork, I'm reading. These
I
books.
got on soap operas, because I left the books. Now my sister was watching soap operas, and I was into All My Children, Days of Our Lives, One Life to Live. I still do General Hospital, because that's the same.
At 1 o'clock, yes.
Yes, we'll leave the house, because this is what the life that we knew.
Yeah. That's
You
where
know?
you could get the pleasure, because I can't go out there. I can't smoke weed and
They'll kill us. What? Smoke. We didn't even know what weed was. At least kids these days know. Me, I didn't. Let me tell you a story. I didn't know what weed was. I didn't even know what it looks like. One of my clients brought it to my desk and said, "You're gonna know, because you have kids." At that time, I have teenager, right? My
Yeah.
daughter is at 15, 16. He was like, "You need to know what this thing
You
is,"
need to
because
know
I'm
what
telling
it
him.
looks like, what it smells like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I don't know. I don't know what it is." He was like, "Lucida, you're too good at to show for me.
Yeah.
I'm coming right back." And he came back. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm seeing." He was like, "Sit down." So we didn't see these things. Yeah, and people think that it's weird, but it's not. It's because
We were sheltered.
we were sheltered.
We were sheltered. Yeah.
And then we carry that. You could see our posture is the same. You could tell a household what type of kid was in that household, because we're sitting, look,
Yeah.
sitting like this. Because you go to a party with them, shitala.
Yep. What you doing running around all that stuff?
And then they give you one look.
That's it. We knew how to act.
We knew.
Now these
what
kids these days, I
Girl.
go flicker.
So now tell me. So we're going to take a break, because we're going to go to the Marie Cassandre, the adult Marie Cassandre.
Yes.
We're going to learn a lot more about her. So we'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the one-on-one show with Dr. Lucita.
to iSpace 2 LLC, the ultimate creative sanctuary designed for the innovative mind. Elevate your podcast with our professional-grade equipment and acoustically treated rooms. Crystal clear sound quality every time. Bring your vision to life in our photo shoot studio with natural light, versatile backdrops, and pro lighting gear. Stunning images are guaranteed. Need space to collaborate? Our sleek modern offices are perfect for meetings, workshops, or conferences. Flexible rentals to fit your needs. Choose from our diverse studios: Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and Studio D, each designed to inspire and adapt to your creative workflow. Conveniently located at 2198 Austell Road Southwest, Suite 216 in Marietta, Georgia. Ready to create? Book your space today at ispace2.com or call 866-936-5365. iSpace 2, LLC, where your ideas come to life. Create, collaborate, inspire.
We are a Christian-based nonprofit organization providing pre-filled communion elements to simplify church logistics for Holy Communion.
At Holy Communion Elements, we deal with packaging of pre-packed Holy Communion into a one self-serving cup.
Over time, I've seen people evolving from this old style of having Holy Communion to this new style where everything is packed and prepared for your day. You find that this is way cheaper comparing with this because there is no much of getting all the accessories. This is as it is. Serve on the go.
It takes us like 20 minutes. Everybody is done. Unlike in the past where, elders have to come early, do the preparation, and then later they'll do the washing of those cups. Sometimes we are forced to go and do additional preparation in the middle of the service. And you have to dash back to the vestry to do more preparation.
We have 5 stations: 1, client services; 2, production; quality control; packaging, and delivery.
At Holy Communion Elements, we are dedicated to providing pre-packed Holy Communion kits in a safe, sustainable, and accessible way, even in areas where traditional elements are hard to access. Your donation will directly fund the production and distribution of these pre-packed elements, ensuring that every Christian can partake in Holy Communion with dignity and reverence. Together, we can ensure that Holy Communion experience remains accessible and meaningful for us all. To donate, please visit holycommunionelements.com or reach out to us directly through our phone number.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to One-on-One Story Time. This is the second half of the show. Before we start having the very fun part of our guest, Marie Cassandre, we're going to say hello to a few people that are under the live. We want to say thank you, Bertos, to have Karen and the other team to be watching us this evening. We want to say thank you to Source Multi-Services. Thank you to Saving Plumbing. Thank you to Manushka. I don't know if you have any other people that's watching. We have a lot of people under the live. We have Mr. Michelle Roche.
That's my hubby.
Yeah, hubby. And guys, keep sharing the live. Give us a thumbs up. Now, there's something that's very important. If you're watching the live, it's 700 people. Like the live, share the live, because this is how YouTube and Facebook recognize my life. That's how you guys are supporting what's happening. So we need your help. We need you to keep sharing the live, tell a friend, because one on one is just story time. It's to bring you stories that our younger generation, because I remember when I was younger, I used to sit with my grandmother and she used to share stories with me. That's why we create one on one, because we want to know what is people know. That's how we grow. That's how we nurture. That's how we keep a community growing. So we're going to keep getting some stories, because the juicy part is yet to come with Marie Cassandre.
Yay!
Are you having fun?
I am. I'm enjoying this.
You are?
Yes, yes. I love the relaxed atmosphere of one on one, and that it's not scripted, and it's really just having a conversation and getting to know the community members of where you live, getting to know these people that you see around every day, you see at every event. And so it's nice to have an insight into the lives of
Of us.
of us.
Right?
Yeah,
We didn't
yeah.
just grow up and be Marie Cassandre.
Right.
There was a mini Marie Cassandre,
Right,
right?
right.
So now we left mini Marie Cassandre. We left high school. We know that she was a nerd. I didn't get any juicy stories, except for the fact that she was getting beat up by her brother, guys. But now we're getting ready to get some new.
College.
We want to go to college, because college, we all grew up then.
Yes.
Hey.
I love college. I like when I was choosing a college, I wanted it to be as far away from home as possible. No, that's the truth, guys, because it's not because I didn't love my family or anything. It's because my mother had such a strong hold on us, my sister and everything. We weren't allowed to experience anything yet. I had never slept over anybody's house. I had never gone out to spring break and, done things. So college, I was like, bye.
Give us the stories, because you can tell me you were waiting for that day, and then that day came, and I'm not gonna get some juicy stuff. We're ready.
It was nice. It
Hey.
was nice. So I actually went to Gordon College, which was about a 2-hour commute. Gordon College was a 2-year college.
Okay.
So did administrative assistant there. And so, but my mother she said she had a dream, and the Lord told her I was going to be a doctor. So I was pre-med for a long time. Wow. Yeah, but that's the shame of the family, guys. I am the shame of my mother, because I did not become a doctor. I'm sorry, Mom, okay?
So that's another moment.
I'm sorry.
Beside I'm sorry to Mom, what else would you like to tell your mother during that moment of the segment?
Oh, I did my best. I did, I hope that I made her proud. I know, I think they went through so much trauma that they don't get to talk about. We get to actually express it. I think they have to internalize it. They don't really let us know what really happened to them. And so because of that, the stronghold, the authoritarian, it wasn't good, because as soon as I could, I was like, freedom.
So what would you want to tell her?
So I want to say that.
Look at her. She's looking at you. Mommy, I'm looking at you. What would you say to her?
You did your best with what you had. You did your best with what you knew. We're all okay. We're all doing fine. And we love you. We see the hardship that you had to go through raising 4 kids, and sometimes on your own. We appreciate who you are. Without you, there wouldn't be any us. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate also the fact that you have instilled the love of God in our lives. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for um, being the mother that you only knew how to be. And so that's it.
That's beautiful. And I want mommy to watch this to know how you feel about her. So that's the fun part in college. To give me some stories.
So stories.
What happened in college?
I got my first boyfriend in college.
That's the part.
I got
Because now it's time to exercise all those reading. So how did that happen? How did that happen? You're going too fast. Tell me about that, because that had to be.
He was good in math. That's all I gotta say. I was bad in math in college, and I needed a tutor, and he was there.
My God, you used the boy for math?
He was good in math. He was Nigerian. My first boyfriend was Nigerian. He was the best boyfriend ever, and. Listen, a man's mind, men don't understand that. Oh my God, sexy. Like you remember those calculators, the TI-82s, and then there was a point where they wanted me to do graph in there to calculate
with the geometry and calculus.
And that. And he's like, you don't have to use that. Just do this. And he's doing
the steps,
all these things in his mind, and he doesn't have to use a calculator, and he gets the right answer.
That's attractive. You don't even have to talk to me.
I'm like in the book. Now I'm in the book like this.
No, you don't even have to talk to me, because men don't understand the attraction.
Oh yeah,
it's with their mind.
With their mind, the way they
speak.
Yes.
It's not even the look. You could be ugly, but you have a mindset that's
have you
like
ever
a
seen
gold.
an ugly man with a beautiful woman? That's why. That's why. Because he knows how to talk and he knows how to figure things out and all of that. So, yeah. So that was very attractive to me. The fact that he could... He was 4 or 5 years older than me, so he was a little older, but he knew his stuff, you know. Unfortunately, he wasn't a hit at home. I tried to, I fell in love. That was my first boyfriend. I tried to introduce him to the family, but two things were against him. Unfortunately, it's gonna sound bad, but with that age, with our parents, our grandparents, they have their own thinking, right? So he was a young man. He was a taxi driver. So kunyala.
Pas un prestige.
Kunyala. Ma di my mom, mon boyfriend.
Look, prestige.
Kunya petite fille nan se pre-med, son docteur Valier. Kunya la m'pote un taxi driver pour maman. Kunya la imagino ki bêtise. Yo dim, e so pote pou mwen la, sa, la, pou jom travay du. Yo tout temps, pou jom travay du, se so.
Mais on rage vraiment quand on mène un taxi driver by moun yo.
Taxi driver, après ça, il vient connaître que son Nigerian.
Oh my God.
You
tuye madam.
Yeah, you're going
mentality.
Notion.
Because those people who connaît by law.
Yeah. Ou get back and back.
Nous pas dire.
Mais on connaît.
Nous connaît.
Ou pote nek ça là.
Oh my gosh, we're having such a great time. This is so good. So how long did you stay with him?
Oh, we were together for a while.
Because the rebel, right? So this is who we're gonna keep.
Yeah. And I like the dark too.
Oh
because dark, it's like it looks good.
It's always good like that for light skin.
Yeah.
Light skin people always tend to go with the darker shade. Because me being that skin, all my boyfriend were light skin. Almost all of them.
Yeah.
It's light skin. It's always like that. I don't know. I have my best friend. Her husband is dark.
Yeah.
Like it's a chocolate.
Oh, it's a
we have to put mettre un petit chocolat.
ended up, I did. I lost my virginity and all that stuff. I became a woman.
Hey, hey. But now that you mentioned that, we're going to go there just a little bit because we're leaving a legacy to our younger self.
Yeah.
Was it done the proper way? You know, losing that. That's such a big thing for a young girl. Was it done properly in terms of it was planned? It wasn't something that you were forced to do? Was it how you read it in the book?
Not as I read it in the book. It wasn't perfect. It was painful.
Damn.
But there was a lot of fear associated with it because I knew that I was doing something that I was told all my life if I did it, and if he wasn't my husband, I'm going to hell.
You're committing.
Yes, I'm going to hell for having sex before marriage. And so there was like come up back, you know, like it wasn't like a carefree moment.
Yes.
But it was a special moment.
Okay.
It was a special moment. It was one that unfortunately I had a couple of good friends around me, and so even though I wasn't able to go to my mother or my sister at the time, I believe was in Haiti. And so they were able to tell me, you know, like, okay, this is where you go get the condom, and this is where, you know, this is what you can do, and things like that. And so, so it was nice. It was nice.
So now I know you have two beautiful kids, two girls, right?
One boy,
one boy, one girl. So for your little girl, what would you tell her right now about that experience? Because
about her first time.
What advice would you give to her?
I would say take your time, and I hope you know, this day and age you have to pray that nothing happens before they're ready to. So I would say take your time because there is so much time to experience that, right? It's not gonna go away, it's not gonna finish, you're not gonna miss anything, but be prepared also. I also want her to know that I am there for her to ask any questions without any fear of, you know, me retaliating or her getting in trouble. So just know that I want you to be safe no matter what you do. You have sex, you don't have sex, you're in a relationship. I just want you to be safe. And that's safe physically, safe mentally. I don't want you to catch anything. So that's why as a mother, we're so like, be careful or wait, because we want you to be able to protect yourself and make sure that you're having a good experience. It's not something that can traumatize you. Yeah.
That's well said.
Yeah.
And that same note, do you have any regrets in your life?
Do I have any regrets? I like to say regrets. I saw a tattoo one time that says regrets. They spelled it
okay.
Do I have any regrets? I don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets. I think I don't have any regrets. That's deep. And I think everything happened the way it should have happened.
Okay.
And for me to be at this place that I'm in right now. And I think this is a good place that I'm in. You know, I'm enjoying, I'm happy, and I think everything happened at its right place, you know, at its season.
At its season, when it was supposed to happen.
Yes.
So I'm assuming we finished college and now we went into, because the kids had to be born by somebody, right?
So believe it or not, so I was married, right? So I got married. I got married very young. I got married at 20, and
I'm sorry to cut you off. Why so early?
I wanted to get out the house.
You wanted to get out the
I
house.
wanted freedom. I wanted to travel.
Okay.
I wanted to go to parties. I wanted to go to Vegas. I wanted to just enjoy being, you know, a young lady. And so my best friend at the time
And who's
was my ex-husband.
Aw.
And so you know, we had gone on a couple of trips as friends and all of that. And so he was able to offer me that way out.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is hindsight. I didn't know this is what I was doing at the time.
At that time.
You know, but
Looking back at it.
looking back
Yes.
at it, you're like, oh, that's why I got married. Because as soon as I got married, like my ex-husband was a truck driver. He worked hard. He was a hard worker, and he was like, "No, you can, go with your best friend to Vegas, or all that stuff." And I'm like, "Yes,
You had that freedom.
yes."
So
And
you
I'm
didn't talk about your best friend. So you do have a best friend.
I do.
Oh,
D.
so who's that?
D. Her name is D, and we look alike, and everybody thinks
really?
she's Haitian. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and she's
So where's D
big
right
girl
now?
just like me. She's here. She's here in Georgia. I met D when I was in college. D was my RA. So I stayed on campus, and so she was the resident advisor. And so we just became, so I went to college. I was 17, 18. And so we've been friends since then.
What's
Since then,
nice
yeah.
about D? What can you
D-
tell me about D?
D.
If you had to describe D.
D's laid back. She's the opposite of me, and I think she balanced me well, because D doesn't smile. D's not happy. Hey, how you doing? She sees you and your instant
Oh my
friends like
gosh.
me, and she'll look at me like,
Why
you
you
have to
always
be
happy?
nice to everybody. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that episode with one of my best friend, friend Celine. You describing our relationship.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Why you always laughing?" Giving me that shoulder.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? You always laughing. People are always welcome to you. What is up with that?
Exactly. So D's like no bullshit type of attitude and all of that. And so everybody, most people think she's mean.
And she's probably the sweetest person you
Oh
ever
my
know.
gosh, oh my
She'll give the
gosh.
shirt off her shoulder,
Oh
but
my
her personality
goodness.
is, it's
Oh
totally
my
different. It's out.
goodness.
They said opposite attract.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, yep. And I balance her well too. I'm pretty sure if we're in a room and they were like, okay, they're approachable. Come on. But yeah, so that's where I met D. And so we became friends, and till this day, she's my ride or die. So it's been a good
It's been a
friendship.
ride?
Yes, it's a good friendship. So
So
she's
tell
been
her
through
one
it all.
thing. One thing.
Tell D one thing. Oh my God, D. No, D's gonna have me crying. I love you. I thank you for the support that you have given me throughout the years. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being there for me through the worst times. I'm sorry if I scared you. I've had a few health scares, and D has been there, and I'm getting it together. I'm getting my. I talk like that to her. I'm getting my shit together. Okay.
Yes.
And I know you want nothing but the best for me, and that's what I want for you too. I want joy for you, and I'm so happy to see you living your dream, living your best life, and I just love you and can't wait to hug you and kiss you. All right.
I love doing that. I love doing it because we're
yeah.
leaving a legacy again to our younger generation. They need to know who's in our lives. They need to know who's important to us. Those things are very important. So now you got married. You have two beautiful kids, and you're living your best life. What is the best thing for you right now? Because you said you're in the best place. What make that your best?
Oh, you mean now I'm remarried?
No, we're not gonna go to that yet.
Okay, to the
Yeah,
first one.
we're still there. We're still in the first one. You have kids, and life is good.
Well, unfortunately, with the marriage, I became a married single mother but not because he was doing something bad, but because of his career choice, right? So he was an over-the-road truck driver, so he can be gone a month at a time. But the most frequent time that he'll be home is probably every 2 weeks for the weekend. So it was mommy all the time for me. And they're still like that because that's how they're used. Even though there's other people that can help them, they see mommy, they want mommy to do it. And so that was my marriage. Even though the marriage lasted 16, 17 years.
Wow, that was
so
long.
it was a long, and it was a fun. I think we grew up, and as we grew up, different, and so. But
because there was there was so much void.
There was a lot of space.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned also. As a right now, as a woman in her 40s, and knowing that you can't, if you allow space,
it's not gonna
that's
work.
gonna give too much room for the person to know that, hey, I can do this by myself.
It's not even that. You start thinking. There's too much. You're like, there's options. Let's be honest.
A fish.
You're like, I
a
can
fish in
look.
the sea.
So you don't want to give all that space because just saying.
The grass, the grass will look greener on the other side, but it's not. It's not.
So finally, that didn't work out. You guys agreed.
So it didn't work out due to infidelity on his part, and also.
See, not even give us enough time at home, but still have time for infidelity somewhere else. Like, really, dude? It's always like that. But look, come back home.
But see, I think, and I'm looking back at it, and I'm like, you're right. There's no time you're working, but then there was time but then that woman was free, didn't have children, so the woman could do all these things that I couldn't do, because then
So you became the slave. You became the one making sure the house is clean.
How the Haitians put it? The old chaudière.
The old chaudière. And then, the thing is, they always said, "Ligue petite, nobody's going to take her."
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yo, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say that.
At one point, that was even said.
Yes. Like, you
yeah,
already got Timoun, but they don't understand that.
Yeah.
My mom toujours dit, femmes sont marabouts. Nous pas jamais, nous toujours fleurir. No matter the age. Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? And I'm not going to sit here and play like a victim or it was all him. But also, me at the time, I let myself go. It was all about the kids. So he would come home, let's say a month or 2 weeks out. He would come home, and I'm in a muumuu, tête marée.
Really, my cousin?
Oh, yeah. I have to own up to my part, right?
So, no sexy lingerie?
No, I wasn't waiting for him with makeup and long hair.
Hey.
And like, hey, babe.
Hey, baby.
With a plate of food.
You are too much.
With
the twins.
Yeah, with the twins out and a plate of food, like, hey, baby.
Oh, my Lord.
So, yeah. So
it's good that you take ownership of where.
Oh, yes. So
because we don't make the same mistakes again, right? Because we have to learn from the errors, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And so but again, too, it's because we didn't know. We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
We saw our parents.
Yeah, I was.
The muumuus. My mom used to wear the muumuu.
Yeah.
And my dad used to love the muumuu.
Yeah, and I thought I was being a good. I thought I was being a good wife because the kids were thriving, right?
Yes.
He would come and Nikolai and Isabel or healthy and good.
Plums.
And they're getting stars.
Yes.
And awards.
You're doing all the good
everything.
things.
Yeah. So, but in the meantime, he's looking at ladies keeping up themselves and all that stuff.
And you know what they say? You gotta be a.
But yeah.
So you gotta do both.
Yeah.
You gotta do both. You can't be a wife, and not be the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The one when he sees you got the sexy dress, because you gotta be both, unfortunately. But we were not taught these things, right? It's as we age we start realizing that,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not cooking today.
Right.
You're taking me out, and I make sure I wear the red dress.
Yeah.
You know?
The heels and the,
The
matching
heels and the
pennies,
things. So
you
if you're gonna
know?
look at it,
Yes.
you're gonna look at moi,
No, that's
right?
it.
So
That's it. Exactly.
so now
So-
your wife decided that you guys gonna
Yeah,
do different things.
Yeah. So at this point, with a child involved outside of the
Oh, no.
outside
So he
of
really
the
went there.
wedding.
So we have the same life.
Yeah, so that was not something that I thought that I could get over. And I knew, the whole thing about being a good Christian wife is to forgive and forget. But I could forgive, but I would never forget because there's
The
this
child is part of your life.
That's right there. So every day I would be like, oh, that's something you did wrong. So yeah. So I didn't think that I could ever forgive that. And so we went our separate ways. Made amends, and then we got two beautiful kids out of it.
And you're living your best life. So now we're gonna go ahead to. We're not gonna stand there because let's move on to you having fun. You becoming the Marie Cassandre that you are. After you dissolved all of that. How did you pick up the pieces? How do you become the Marie Cassandre? Now I'm going to get to know.
Oh, okay.
How did you become that person?
So I have to say that took about 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Because I was by myself and with the kids. And so, and that also, after a stroke, I had a stroke about 6 months on my 36th birthday. I had a stroke after he left. Yeah, that happened because I thought I had to be that a strong black woman. I don't need no man thing,
Wrong thing they tell us. I tell everybody, I don't want to be no feminist.
It's like,
no, I'm looking for my husband. No, I'm not. I'm forced to be independent.
But see, I was a stay-at-home wife. So I wasn't working, and so I was raising the kids. So when he left, I had to put myself back into the workflow, the community,
providing
and all of
for
that.
everything.
Yes. And so I went ahead and overdid that. So I was working 6 days a week, 16 hours a day, and then so I gave myself a stroke. I would say that.
Oh my God! No, we don't give ourselves a stroke, but I just think you have to take care of the home.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people,
Overstress,
people see me.
overwork.
They're like, "How do you do certain things?" I tell people, if you don't having a mate takes so much pressure off of you, and people don't realize that, right? It's not just work. You have to think for a whole family. You carrying everything on your shoulder. So it's not like we independent. It's just you always worrying if something happened, what would you do?
Yeah.
So it's like you constantly thinking. So the minute you have a mate, you don't have to think that much anymore.
Right.
Because you're like, whew,
Yes.
I can breathe.
Yes.
I can relax.
Yeah.
So I don't think you give yourself a stroke. It was just like you had to provide. You became the instant provider.
Yeah.
And then you were already home with those kids. It's who they know. They're not going to call their father. It's always going to be you. So therefore you had to do what you had to do.
So the good
but I'm
thing-
glad you were okay. So how did you balance that?
So the good thing about the kids, because one of my fears was that I was like, God, please don't let our mistake mess our children up, because the sins of the mothers and fathers, we don't want them to affect our children. And they didn't ask for this, right? They're innocent in all of this. And so throughout that time, that was my constant prayer, like, God, I don't want to mess these kids up. Please, please, please. And so we tried our best that they, even if we were arguing or there was something that they didn't know anything about it, to spare them. And so just work. I worked a lot. And then I started to learn a lot of new things. Like I started learning about investing. And so that's when I got into investing about when I was 36, 37.
Nice.
And so I started learning about my Roth IRA.
Nice.
And so I got a Roth IRA. I started doing some investing by myself.
Nice.
And then also working the different jobs and all of that. So I started doing all of that. The part with the community where MCM was born is that I was doing a lot of community work before, but I wasn't getting any. How would you say that? Any of the benefits, any of the things out of it. It was just like, okay, I'm just doing work in the community. I want my children to have a safe place and people to know them. If anything were to happen to them, they'll say, oh, that's Cassandre's kids right there. They need to be off the street. They need to be with them, and things like that. And so, I was doing a lot of the community work. And then so my mentor at the time said, hold up, you're doing all these things. You didn't register. You don't have a business. You're helping organize. You're raising money. You're doing all of that. And you're overworking yourself. And show me what you're getting
what
out
are you
of
doing?
it.
What are you doing?
Yeah. and so I was able to listen to her and to formalize what I was doing into a form of public relations business, where I made sure that there was community engagement between businesses and organizations and the public and all of that. And since I was already doing those type of work, it just easily fell into that. And so that's what I was able to do. I also was able to, at the time when we separated and got divorced, I was working as a CNA. And so, and that was the job that I'm proud of,
to give you the freedom.
That helped me to provide for the kids and all of that. And I'm working 12-hour shift, like I told you, and I'm able to do it at night. So, and so they're sleeping while I'm working and all of that.
So even though you had a college degree, so you decided to do CNA work to give you that.
But remember, I had no experience. I had no experience. And I did not finish my full year, because after Gordon, I transferred to Georgia State University.
Okay.
And so I went to a 2-year, and then so I was supposed to be pre-med and finish that and go, but I did not finish.
Okay.
And so, so that was where I was, and there was nothing that could, nobody would hire somebody that was out of the working field for so many years, no experience and all of that. And so, so I worked as a CNA, and did that until a church friend of mine referred me to Emory. Okay. She was working at Emory as a nurse.
Okay.
And then they were looking for a front office, how do you say that? Check,
the front desk.
The front desk. There you go. And so she referred me, and then it was a personal referral, and I went ahead and applied and went to to speak to them, and they liked me, and they were like, okay, we want that smile in our office,
So it was
and
just
then,
like, so you went right back to your field.
So I went,
Yes.
So I went there, and I became the lead office front desk administrator, and I've been with Emory for 8 years now. And I, a lot of times I'm like, ooh, they love me so much, but I gotta make sure I advance.
Yes.
I can't stay with them for long, but they're so good to me. So they were, so that's what I do from my 8 to 5. So I was able to find a good career there where I had medical, benefits.
You got all the stuff.
Dental and vision for the kids and all of that. So I didn't have to do the CNA anymore, and then just stay on the field of communicating and receiving people. And then I got into insurances, medical insurance, and all of that. So that's what I do from 8 to 5.
So that when you're looking back at your life, do you think that's where your life would be? When you're going back, when you're thinking and you're taking a deep breath, did you think that's the Marie Cassandre you're looking at today?
Yeah, I didn't think that I would start over at 36, because a lot of people, I thought I was done. I was like, okay, but I started, late, I guess, you know, but I didn't think I would be starting over and picking up the crumbles and making it into something.
What
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. And so I definitely didn't think that, but it happened. And
Now we can be here all night, but we're not.
I know.
I want to get to your husband.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have a handsome. Everybody see that all over the internet.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Tell us about that. After all the hard work, the sweat, the stroke,
dating.
and all dating.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go over the funny dating because that has to be for another appointment,
Oh my
another
God.
one-on-one. Because we have to do a special on horror of dating in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
But tell me, how did you meet your handsome,
Well,
kind? Because on Facebook it looks like it's kind.
Yes.
He's everything.
He is. He's the kindest man. He's lovable. He's sweet. He's clean. He knows how to cook.
Hey, don't give all your secret here, girl. Remember, you're still in Atlanta.
There's a shortage.
There's a shortage. And you so don't give all your secret. But how did that
I always
happen?
tell these ladies out here, listen, if you can take this man, he wasn't mine.
Exactly. Well, but
We have to teach
that's
these
another
ladies.
conversation.
Yeah, that's a
another
big conversation.
That's another
but
conversation because
if you-
they always,
Yeah,
they're
they're gonna try.
Yeah.
They're gonna try. So it's up to the man as well to know what are the boundaries and to say, that's my wife.
That's my wife. I'm taken.
Look, I'm married.
I'm married.
I'm married.
So life is good. Everything is
Life is
great. So
good.
married.
Life
But
is-
tell me a story. How did you guys, how did it start it?
So it was a good friend of mine. It's her brother.
Oh.
And so she supports me whenever I have events and all of that. One night, she wasn't able to come to an event that I was hosting. And so she decided to give her brother her ticket. And so she called me and said, I can't make it, but my brother is coming. And my brother and my cousin are coming. And so they came. And we spent, actually, that night I was hosting, it was in February. I forgot who was playing. I was hosting, and then the promoter didn't know that the group was bringing their own host.
Okay.
So I didn't really have anything to do because the group came with their own host, and he was good and entertaining and all of that. So I said, go ahead, I'm already paid and everything.
I'm going to enjoy a good moment.
Yes. And so I sat back and we had conversations and we danced and that's how it started. And
So I'm assuming the brother was your current husband right now.
Yes.
Okay, so
that's how we met. That's the story of how
so
we
the
met.
sister sent a brother.
Her brother.
And didn't know that she was sending your future husband.
She didn't know. She didn't want that.
Because I'm like, it's story time. I want some stories. So how did you guys break the news? How did that happen? Look, you on one-on-one. I'm ready. Because we have, 10 minutes? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, 10 minutes. we kept it platonic. But we were getting to know each other. And when we saw that it had potential and that we were, I was seeing him in another light and he was, the dancing was different and the closeness was different and there was attraction. And so we decided to take it there, and once we decided to take it there, it seems like everything happened so fast.
Now, I have a question because that's my fear, right? I've been single. Well, I've date people, but, not since my separation. I've never been with a man in front of my kids like that. So I'm always afraid. How was that?
Yeah.
Because for me, that's like I'm bringing another man into your space, even though you don't, you're not around your dad.
Yeah.
How are the kids accepting that?
Right. And that was the same for me. It was never something that the kids saw He could never spend the night over the
Yes.
house and things like that. And so that actually was the deciding factor for me. And I always tell this story. That's how I knew that this is him. This is the guy that I'm gonna say, you know what? All right, let's give this last chance because I'm not divorcing anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep you. I'm gonna keep
Hey,
this one.
so this is the moment on one. You heard it only here. If you had something to say to your husband before we done the show, what would it be?
And
Look
so-
at the camera and tell him exactly what would you have to tell him.
And so I don't. But he's right here.
I don't know
You
he's
see
right here.
that?
People don't know he's right here. So tell him
Look, he
something.
got behind me.
Something you would want to say.
I would want to say that the day we decided to jump the broom, I'm looking at him. The imaginary him. Hey, old man. That was a day that I will forever thank God for bringing you into our lives. So since I'm talking to the future you, I know that the kids are gone and we have the house to ourselves. and we're enjoying, definitely the beginnings are always nice and in love and romantic and all of that. But I know that you were the right choice for me when I saw the way you showed love to my children. And so I saw the type of man that you are, that you were, and a man that could lead us, a man that could show us new things, a man that could love and protect us. And so I believed in that, and I went with faith and said yes, and I'll continue to say yes to you. I love you. That's it.
So now, what is the definition of success to you?
The definition of success is being happy in your own skin, being happy where you are. It's not having to compete anymore. Success to me is not having to compete. Success means collaboration. Success means being at peace. Success mean being content and okay with the person. You look in the mirror and you say, you did okay, you did good, you gave it your all, and you're doing good. You're doing good. And so success is being proud of oneself. So if you can look at yourself and say, you know what, I'm proud of you. You did that. And you came out of it on top, and you're doing a great job. That's success to me.
Whew, any last words for our audience? What would you like to tell
I
them?
told you we can go on for hours,
Yes,
right?
but it was. But I want to say before we go, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking the opportunity, to share your story with us. There's a lot of things I did not know about you. With one-on-one, I have a different appreciation for you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep being you, because your voice is important.
Thank you.
What you're doing is important.
Thank you. Last words for the community at large. My last words would be, I appreciate all of you. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to represent you. And that's in any scopes, even if it's your own personal business, your event, or the community at large. To have someone come to you and say, can you represent us as a community and speak in a public manner? and represent us, that's a big honor. And so I take that very seriously. I take that to heart, and I thank you for that honor that you have bestowed upon me. To be somewhat of an ambassador in being a Georgia Peach, being raised here and doing the work and watching us grow as a community, it's a very happy moment for me. And I hope to see us. I know we can do bigger and greater things, you know.
And we are.
Yes.
And we are.
Yes. Also to my community, I want you to keep in mind that always collaboration over competition will get us to the place that we want to be. So collaboration over competition. Think of the bigger picture. Think of our children. What are we leaving behind for them when we're no longer there? We're on our way out, right? And so these kids, are we leaving a healthy space for them? Are we leaving a thriving community for them? What are we leaving behind for them? Let's leave something concrete, something strong for them so that they can be better than us. And to my children, everything that I do it for y'all. Everything, so that when I'm no longer here, I know that, you know, Lucita is here, and someone in the street, like I always say, will just say, oh, got it tikasanyo. You know, that's not where they're supposed to be. You know, your mother would not like what you're doing. So get your butt back and get in line. And so I want that community of, it's the community that raises the child. And so, everything that I do is for you all. To my husband, I love you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for helping MCM Success Club CEO, being in the background and helping me with everything that
International Woman of Hope.
And, absolutely. and you know, it's I see such a bright future for us, and especially as women, as Haitian women, that we have so much potential, and there's so much in us, and that if we let go of all the little things, that together, the
Be
bigger
stronger.
picture, you know, once I make it out there, I'm pulling somebody else. I'm pulling. Once you get there, you have that $1 million contract, you know there's an MC somewhere, or there's a public relations person, you'll pull that person
Collaboration.
up. Yes. And then so it's about one of us getting through in the door and then helping the other one. And then
And a
before
great
you know
example
it,
of that, look at Joey Edouard Filet.
yes.
Look what he's doing for Tonton Bichat.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because who would have thought 2003,
Mm-hmm.
that's when that song, Je vais, came out. And now look at today,
Look at that.
20-something
Patience.
years later.
Something else we need to learn about.
Patience. You understand?
There's no get
So
rich.
you never know
quick
where you're going to
scheme.
be in this world. And then
Yes.
somebody's watching
Yes.
from far away that says, let me help you.
Absolutely.
But, Marika-san,
Yes.
what other note that you have for one-on-one? What would you tell me? What would you tell me to do? How would you want me to continue with this?
Oh, I love this. I think this has potential to be very big. A one-on-one, getting to know your community, getting to know the members of your community. So continue to do what you're doing. And like you said, patience. Like, this is the first year. You know, year 10 might be the year where we are on ABC.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Let's claim it.
You're on Netflix,
Hey.
you know? And so, you know, let's just keep going and keep supporting. It doesn't matter if one person is watching. It doesn't matter if you're helping one person, but you're helping just one person. And so that's all that matters. So congrats to you. Kudos to you
Thank
for
you.
a job well done, for a beautiful venue, a beautiful place. I hope, you know, God blesses you to open one in my part of town.
We are in contract. It's coming. We have a second one coming up. Not too far.
Not too far.
So just keep your
okay.
Yes,
All right. Don't tell everybody
yes,
everything.
not
Yeah.
yet.
But
Yes.
yeah. So that, you know, maybe when we retire, my husband and I, we can do like a little, podcast.
Love podcast.
Love, yeah.
Talk about
The
the difference.
lovers.
Oh my God.
We're in a group.
All right,
call.
guys. So we can be here all night. We want to say thank you for being part of this exclusive one-on-one today. It was one for the book. On that note, I'll see you next weekend for another one-on-one. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.
Welcome to iSpace 2 LLC, the ultimate creative sanctuary designed for the innovative mind. Elevate your podcast with our professional-grade equipment and acoustically treated rooms. Crystal clear sound quality, every time. Bring your vision to life in our photo shoot studio. With natural light, versatile backdrops, and pro lighting gear, stunning images are guaranteed. Need space to collaborate? Our sleek modern offices are perfect for meetings, workshops, or conferences. Flexible rentals to fit your needs. Choose from our diverse studios: Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and Studio D, each designed to inspire and adapt to your creative workflow. Conveniently located at 2198 Austell Road Southwest, Suite 216 in Marietta, Georgia. Ready to create? Book your space today at ispace2.com or call 866-936-5365. iSpace 2, LLC, where your ideas come to life. Create, collaborate, inspire.
Posez, pas fait tête chaud. Ou t'as cherché un compagnie sérieux pour faire le taxe pour là, dans des postes tout hier, et bien choix par l'autre côté. Lucita Accounting Firm. Nous avons plus que 22 ans d'expérience dans seule location. Porte nous l'ouvrir depuis le fait 9h pour arriver 7h. Consultation nous gratis. Nous avons pilote service nous bas encore. Nous faisons taxe individuelle. Taxe pour moun qui a business. Nous faisons audit pour assurance taxe. Taxe consultation. Nos affaires taxes, docteur Lucita se mettre causé. Relais pour service taxe par la Kounia et pour nous éduquer dans le taxe. Pour joindre tout corps ou dans mes ARS sans manquer yon yota. Téléphone non c'est 770 319 91 81. Adresse nous c'est Atlanta, Georgia.
We are a Christian-based non-profit organization providing pre-filled communion elements to simplify church logistics for Holy Communion.
At Holy Communion Elements, we deal with packaging of pre-packed Holy Communion into a one self-serving cup.
Over time, I've seen people evolving from this old style of having Holy Communion to this new style where everything is packed and prepared for your table. You find that this is way cheaper comparing with this because there is no much of, getting all the accessories. This is as it is, serve on the go.
It takes us like 20 minutes. Everybody is done. Unlike in the past where, elders have to come early, do the preparation, and then later they'll do the washing of those cups. Sometimes we are forced to go and do additional preparation in the middle of the service. And you have to dash back to the vestry to do more preparation.
We have 5 stations: 1, client services; 2, production; quality control; packaging and delivery.
At Holy Communion Elements, we are dedicated to providing pre-packed Holy Communion kits in a safe, sustainable, and accessible way, even in areas where traditional elements are hard to access. Your donation will directly fund the production and distribution of these pre-packed elements, ensuring that every Christian can partake in Holy Communion with dignity and reverence. Together, we can ensure that Holy Communion experience remains accessible and meaningful for us all. To donate, please visit holycommunionelements.com or reach out to us directly through our phone number.
You're tuned in to the one-on-one show with Dr. Lucita.
Welcome to the One-on-One Show.